Hey man, so we just got done with the Railz on Rainey relay qualifier. Man, it was a show. There was a bunch of bartenders from different parts of town, even the outskirts coming in to compete tonight. A lot of networking going on, and we got to see a lot of people's different elements of how they build drinks and what influences them, and how where they come from influences how they come to competitions like this to, ball out and make some drinks. So
the team that impressed us the most, I think, was the Wild Ones, who was the winner. Not only did they have a great raw time, but they had almost no penalties. I think it was only 10 seconds of penalties for minor infractions.
Very smooth team right there. You could definitely tell that they have chemistry. I know those two are friends, Elijah and Sebastian, they're friends outside of, just the bartending industry. So you could definitely see where their chemistry comes in and how they're just able to bounce off each other. They had the best round by far. Like it looked the cleanest, was the fastest, and they had the least infractions.
Some of the most common mistakes were the sinks and also not washing out the jigger in between drinks. Also the amount of shaking that everyone was doing. It has to be a 20 shake minimum, and a lot of people were just trying to go for raw time. And I kept trying to tell people, like, raw time should be secondary. Everyone should just go smooth and as precise as possible, but everyone just was all, it's a speed competition, so everyone really wants to impress everybody with the raw time.
The teams that I think is going to be a problem going into like the final competition is going to be ABBA, man. Wild Ones are going to have to look out for them. It's two veterans that are on that team. They've both been through the circuit multiple times, and this is just proving to them and everybody else that, they still got it. They have a really, really good time, and the infractions that they did end up incurring tonight are very, very simple to fix. So if they would have just limited those mistakes, they're looking at probably the #1 seed, honestly.
If it weren't for those infractions, ABBA would have won, but it was one major infraction that cost them almost a minute. Another team that I think that's gonna really shine is Nate's. I mean, they had the second fastest raw time, and if it wasn't for just the amount of penalties they had, they would have won, and they still got second.
That's why we're saying, take your time, man. The raw times look good on paper, but if you have infractions, that raw time means nothing, man.
Dead Rabbit should have got placed way higher than what they did, and they ended up getting one of the lowest scores because of just some silly mistakes that, as a bartender, you don't think it's a big deal, but, in a competition, those seconds count.
And that's also another team that I feel like we should highlight a little bit. Dead Rabbit, man, they're known for a really, really big craft aspect. I feel like across the nation, people know about that bar. So for them to be representing it here in Austin and being able to see how, what they put into work every single day, how it translates to a competition like this, should be encouragement for other craft bartenders to really think about doing speed competitions as well. One of the best things you could do to cut your time down is like having an easy setup, right? If you stack your tins on top of each other instead of in front of each other, and you just make your work area less busy, I feel like it's less things to close down at the end. So if you start out with a lot at the beginning, you have to make sure you end with a lot. So I would say stack your things, keep everything on one side, and just be very uniform with your start and your breakdown, because you also have to clean everything, right? So if you have things on both sides and you have to clean things and just move them a lot, movement is what takes time, right? If the sink is right here, put everything on that side. Put everything that has to be cleaned on that side. Don't have to reach across your body all the way across your bar to put things down, because 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds is gonna count when the money is, it's gotta be earned.
I think a lot of it's a mental thing where you feel like if you're doing all this other stuff, you're not making the drink. But in the long run, those things are what's gonna make you faster and more efficient, just like he said.
Yeah, man, I think a lot of competitors just underestimate being in front of the lights, man. I feel like I say that every single time I get in front of this camera, but it's like everybody talks a big game until you got 30 eyes on you and you got 2 spotlights on you, everybody's focusing on you. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, I make this drink 50 times every single time I clock in for a shift, but when they come here, they gotta make it, they start forgetting ingredients, right? It's just being in the environment. I feel like a lot of people thought it would be easy, and then I feel like they learn real quick that, when the spotlight is on you, you gotta shine. You know what I mean? It's like make or break.
Just like Mike Tyson said, everyone's got a plan until you get punched in the face.